1 year ago, Jared Kushner was a nobody, at least as far as U.S. politics was concerned.
If you can't produce peace in the Middle East, nobody can.
President Trump declared that his son-in-law Jared Kushner could broker the toughest deal in the world, lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians.
I am so proud to be here today in Jerusalem as a representative of the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Thank you very much. That the United States would finally recognize the truth, that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. He also declared that we would soon move our embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
There have been at least a dozen Jewish rabbis that have said the Messiah is on earth now. He's been identified. He is soon going to make himself known. In the Jewish mindset, for the Messiah to arrive, you can't think of him like we think of Messiah.
Can I reveal, Jared, how long we've known you?
Trump has said Kushner could even play a key part in the Middle East peace process. While his role has fueled speculation, Kushner has quietly been taking steps to distance himself from his multi-billion-dollar real estate business, Kushner Companies.
Of all the financial titans and philanthropists of the 20th century, none are more complex or mysterious than George Soros. Like Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, and the Rockefellers, he amassed billions through ruthless business decisions.
Recapitalize the banks, and then work on a better world order, where we work together to resolve problems that confront humanity.
When George W. Bush was president, Soros said, "The main obstacle to a stable and just world order is the United States." When asked to explain, he answered, "By declaring a war on terror after September 11, we set the wrong agenda for the world." Think about that. He said, "A stable and just world order." That's because he is a globalist through and through.
So I had no sense of guilt.
Are you religious?
No.
Do you believe in God?
No.
As an imposter and con man and a would-be dictator.
Six-year-old Jared Kushner has no diplomatic experience, but he's become an envoy to foreign leaders, at times in place of the Secretary of State.
Presidents just don't hire their family members, but Trump is doing more than that.
It's unusual Kushner would travel to Iraq before the Secretary of State, a sign of Kushner's growing influence.
It's just particularly important to focus with Kushner on this idea that he is a power center all to himself.
He and wife Ivanka, both practicing Orthodox Jews, are seen as being more moderate than Trump and have reportedly softened the president's policies on gay marriage and child.
But no administration over the course of 4 decades has been able to solve the Arab-Israeli conflict. Barrack says with a new set of leaders in the Arab world wanting a solution, the timing is right.
Kushner played a key role in February's visit from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Can I reveal, Jared, how long we've known you?
and he's now running a newly created office to integrate business ideas into the government.
Jared Kushner at the helm of a newly unveiled office called the White House Office of American Innovation.
We went to find Jared Kushner to ask him what his plans were. Walking to the office at 666 Fifth Avenue with his parents, he was offering no clues.
So you think you're going to get a job in the White House? Have a good day. Thank you. You're going to get a good job.
The disarming smile gave nothing away.
Jared Kushner is now inside his company headquarters.
Jared is perceived right now as a very, very powerful man in the land.
He's Trump's golden boy.
Yes. And Jared, I mean, you know, I did actually speak to Donald Trump on Friday, and he told me how incredibly brilliant he thinks Jared is. He called him my son, not even son-in-law, my son.
Through his policy also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
There have been at least a dozen Jewish rabbis that have said the Messiah is on earth now. He's been identified. He is soon going to make himself known. In the Jewish mindset, for the Messiah to arrive, you can't think of him like we think of Messiah. We think of Messiah after the model of Jesus. He's the Son of God, divine birth, all of that. That's not the way the Jews look at the Messiah. They're looking for a king. They're looking for a political leader. As a matter of fact, Messiah to them means the anointed one, and it goes back to the ancient days when they would anoint a king and recognize him as this is the man that God sent. I'm not saying that they think he is the Messiah. What I actually think is that most of the rabbis there think he's John the Baptist and the Messiah is about to appear. He's the forerunner. He's the guy that's going to start the message in the wilderness, and the Messiah is going to come in on his heels.
Despite having no experience in politics or government, Jared Kushner is said to be one of Donald Trump's most trusted advisors. Some analysts call him the Trump Whisperer.
They too believe that we are in the end times. They too believe that the Messiah is about to appear. We would say the second coming is about to happen, but their Messiah is going to be a false Messiah. He's going to be the Antichrist, right? And so we need the temple service. We need to get back into Israel, the Messiah. Now, why are they saying that? They have identified somebody. I mean, there could be a few rabbis there that think he's the Messiah. The smart ones in Israel are looking at him right now. They're saying he is God's, what we would call John the Baptist. He is God's messenger. When he takes over in January, there is a 5777 countdown to the appearance of the Messiah, and something could happen overnight that could lead to the reconstruction of the temple.
No administration over the course of 4 decades has been able to solve the Arab-Israeli conflict.
36-year-old Jared Kushner has no diplomatic experience, but he's become an envoy to foreign leaders, at times in place of the Secretary of State.
One of the crucial assignments Donald Trump already has in mind for his son-in-law, bringing peace to the Middle East.
President Trump's senior advisor, Jared Kushner, is tasked with, among other things, trying to bring peace to the Middle East after defeating ISIS.
A White House official says Kushner, who joined Mr. Trump on his recent trip to the Middle East.
President Trump declared that his son-in-law Jared Kushner could broker the toughest deal in the world, lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians.
And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease.
I am committed to trying to achieve a peace agreement between the Israelis and the Palestinians.
The president believes forging a historic peace agreement is possible and believes his son-in-law is especially fit to achieve it.
He is so great. If you can't produce peace in the Middle East, nobody can.
Can I reveal, Jared, how long we've known you? Well, he was never small. He was always big. He was always tall. But
The relationship between Israel and America is stronger than ever, and we really thank Prime Minister Netanyahu for his leadership and his partnership.
Thank you. Thank you.
أتعطوننا الأمان وهؤلاء المظلومون المضطهدون لا أمان لكم.
This peace treaty that, according to the prophet Daniel, the Antichrist is going to sign with the nation of Israel.
Jerusalem must remain a city that brings people of all faiths together.
Of all faiths together.
The pursuit of peace is the noblest pursuit of humankind.
That the American-Israeli alliance has never been stronger. It's stronger than ever before under your leadership. And I look forward to working with you and your team to advance our common interests, security, prosperity, and peace with Israel's neighbors and for the region. And we can do it with you.
In response to Netanyahu's statements, President Trump has vowed to deliver a fair Middle East peace plan within the next 4 months, after publicly endorsing a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict for the very first time. Mr. Trump said it was his dream to see a peaceful end to the 70-year conflict and pledged to present a deal within the next 2 to 4 months.
Thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange God, whom he shall acknowledge and increase with glory. And he shall cause them to rule over many, and shall divide the land for gain.
Our peoples more prosperous, and our futures filled with even greater promise for peace.
For peace.
There's nothing I would rather do than see peace between Israel and the Palestinians. I think lots of good things are happening. It will take a little time, as you know. It's taken plenty of time, many decades, and nothing's happened. But a lot of good things are happening.
When we stand together for the principles and the values we share, we shine a light of justice unto the world. Israel proves every day the boundless power of freedom. This land is the only land in the Middle East in which Jews, Muslims, and Christians, and people of all faiths participate and worship freely according to their beliefs.
For the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate.
Focusing on Jared Kushner, pretending to be the Antichrist. Well, he is the man behind this peace deal, not Donald Trump. Sputnik reported that in a leaked email, Jared Kushner asked the King of Jordan to end refugee status for the 2 million Palestinians and integrate them into Jordanian society, effectively ending their link to a Palestinian homeland.
The king has been a really tireless advocate for a solution. He's going to help me with that. King Abdul, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for your partnership. Working together, the United States and Jordan can help bring peace and stability to the Middle East, and in fact, the entire world, and we will do that.
More than 600,000 Palestinians have effectively been banned from participating in the Hajj and Umrah pilgrimages in Saudi Arabia. This again is to force Palestinians to acquire full Jordanian passports and forget their Palestinian heritage.
Here, I wondered if there was any fool anywhere who believed that Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump care a damn about religion. Both of them are hypocrites, utter hypocrites.
Part in the peace process. And you see, he comes in peaceably, Daniel 11:21, enters in peaceably, Daniel 11:24.
Previously unimaginable opportunities and alliances are emerging to lead the efforts to bring peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians.
To bring peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians.
For when they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place.
Whoso readeth, let him understand.
We know we are in Akhirul Zaman. And very soon, Dajjal is going to appear in person, ruling the world from Jerusalem and declaring that I am the Messiah. However, this is not the end of history. The Jews will say this is the end of history. The Christians are going to wake up and rub their eyes, the ones who are deceived by Europe, and they say, but wait a minute, this fella there in Jerusalem who says he's the Messiah, boy, he is not the son of Mary. This is not the Messiah. This is Dajjal, the false Messiah. And this is not the end of history. The Jews are celebrating, but this is not the end of history. History will now end when the true Messiah comes back.